Welcome back to Dirt 5. Today we've got a few things going on. We've got the Velocity main event and 2 throwdowns. The battle for the Ice Throwdown is up first. This one is against Hugh Wright, and we gained this in the last episode. As it's on ice, Wolverine wasn't up for this one, so Soldierboy's in the car, and he's going to be driving the Citroen C3 R5. It's a one-on-one race. What can we do with it? Can we get first place? Can we defeat Hugh Wright and prove to him we are the number one? Let's have a look. It's in the modern rally car, which does help massively, as the modern rally cars grip the ice brilliantly. So that's an advantage straight away, but he'll be in the same rally car as we are. Off the line, he got a little bit better traction, if I can get my words out. And we're just nudging the back end up the inside for the next one, but we know it's going to be tough. Trying to hold on to the inside there, with the outside for the next left-hander. And we go ahead, but we do touch the barrier, so poor exit speed. I think we've just managed to keep the lead. He's on our tail. He's going to be on our tail for the whole race. There's no way we're going to get much of a distance from him, as our ice is quite difficult to distance and gap the other drivers. We just got to drive a rather solid race ourselves and try and just make 0 mistakes, or as little as possible. That's the plan. Left-hander here, taking it nicely, drifting the car around. Very close to the inside barrier, but worked out really well for us. Left-hander followed by a quick right-hander. This is quite a difficult section to get right. If you mess that up, you're into the barrier, and that's time lost straight away. We got that one just about right. Probably could have been a bit smoother with the turnings, but it worked, and that's the main thing. Still in first place as we come to the end of the first lap, and to be fair, I'm surprised they're in the lead. I didn't expect to be in the lead after the first lap. Not much of a gap, but it will do for the time being. With a bit of a barrier touch there, that's not going to help us. That's a mistake we didn't really want to make. As you can see for a second, his light's coming behind us. Left-hander now, we've got to hold this nicely, drifting the car around, maybe a bit deep really on exit, but we carried on being in the lead. That's quite good. He's still behind us. Right-hander now, followed by the left. Got to drift the car nicely here, a little bit of the brakes, drifting nicely, holding the car well. As I say, the modern rally cars are brilliant on ice. They do grip really well compared to a lot of the other ones. 80s rally is probably the worst one we've driven on ice so far, which is the one that actually put Wolverine off. He's not keen on ice races because of the one race he had to do in an 80s rally before we knew how bad they were at it. Bit of a slow corner there for us. That's going to allow Hugh Wright to catch up a little bit here, but the right-hander taken nicely. We've got a quick left-hander coming up, and again the car is drifting lovely. It's just holding the track. There is a little bit of a gap opening now. Not what I was expecting. I thought he'd be closer to us. But we are in the lead. End of the second lap. Start of the final lap now. Our gap has grown a little bit. We can't get complacent. We've got to hold this and make sure we make 0 mistakes. Otherwise he'll be straight past us and in the lead. And we don't want that on the final lap. So nice left-hander here. Drifting nicely. Going a bit deep. I think a bit slow on exit as well. That's a little bit of a mistake there. It's the pressure telling already maybe. We've got the right-hander followed by the left. And the gap has gone out to a second. Well, actually, even with that mistake, we've grown the gap. Maybe he made a mistake as well. That is always possible. The right-hander followed by the quick left-hander. Getting that wrong massively there. I had to readjust halfway round. I really thought I was going to hit the barrier. Managed to hold off. And the mistake hasn't cost us too much. I'm not sure on the time gap, but we're still in the lead. So we didn't lose out massively there. Choice corner coming up, and we just follow straight ahead. No issues there. Right-hander coming up. The gap is gone again. It's 2 seconds. He must have made a mistake. There's no way we've got a 2-second lead unless he made a massive mistake in one of the corners. But this is in the bag now as we drive to the line and we finish in first place.
They brought the ice and you brought the fire. I'm pretty sure that track is now just a puddle of water after that performance. Epic win, Rockstar.
AJ is happy with our performance. We have put Hugh Wright in his place and we have won the throwdown against him. And surprising victory in terms of the gap in the end. I didn't expect him to be that far behind. I expected it to be very close race to the line. But he must have made a major error on one of the final corners to have allowed us that gap. Now, we're going to move on to the LandRush Velocity main event. This one again, we need to do it. We need to get a 3rd place finish. Wolverine's in the car first. If he can't manage 3rd place or better, Soldierboy will be in the car to finish it off and hopefully get it that time. So this is at the Olaeva Inlet Reverse in Norway. It's a Formula off-road class race. We're driving the WS Auto Racing Titan. And I will say straight away, I hate this car. So I want Wolverine to do well here. Wolverine enjoys this car. This was the car that Wolverine decided to overtake 3-4 cars in the air with. He's also won a race with this car previously. He likes it. My issue with it, it doesn't turn. I find it one of the worst cars to try and turn a corner with out of all of them. But he's started well, up to 9th already. He's being slowed down by the group of cars ahead. He keeps touching the back of them, which is slowing him down. But he seems to be doing well so far. Over the bridge, nice little jump there. Nearly landed on the car ahead of him. As he's trying to get positions, but he just can't get past these cars. Getting overturned there a little bit, just turned too much into the corner, losing a few positions. Dropping down to 11th place. Through the middle there, forcing his way through. Back up to 8th now. Can he get the traction down? Just about nose ahead. No, just losing out there. Now he's got to keep going. Then Snipe going a bit deep into the corner. Can he turn it? Again, as I said, this car does not turn. He loves it. I don't understand it. Right-hander now. He's dropped down to 11th. A couple of mistakes there. Just overturning into the corner didn't really help. But he can make this back up. It's still only the first lap. Up the inside there. I don't know how many positions gained. 3 or 4. Up to 7th place. Nice little overtake there up the inside. Too deep into the next corner though. And loses a position or 2 on the exit. Now we're going to get round this long right-hander. Braking a little bit there, probably didn't need to, and that's what cost him a couple of attempts there, but gains positions back up to 7th. Deep into that corner though, and dropping back down to 11th again. This is going to turn into a right battle. He's gaining positions and losing on the game, and it is just down to the car more than anything else. So he's going to cross the line at the end of the first lap. He is in 10th place. Alright, quickly down to 11th. But the corner coming up here is he's gained 8th place now. So he is definitely overtaking. He's got some good speed. It's just some of the corners, I think he overturns a little bit. And then hitting the backs of other cars does slow you down quite a bit. But they're just always in his way, it seems. Well, that's what he says. They're just always driving in his way. But 11th place going down to 12th now. Second lap. What can he achieve here? Up the inside, trying to take as many as possible. But really didn't turn for the corner. Back down to 11th now, as the exit was horrendous. 11th place, we know we can come back, so it's not a massive issue at this stage. Right-hander coming up, followed by a quick left-hander, and then another right-hander. Back down to 12th currently, but there's a group of cars ahead of him. We can get these positions. This seems a good corner to do so. Up the inside again here, he's going to take 3 positions, up to 9th place now, but gets caught up on the car ahead of him there. Up the inside once more, braking nicely that time, 7th place, puts his car in the way of the other car, so he gets a little tap from behind, but helps him. 7th place, round the outside, a bit too deep though, nearly had 6th there. He could be on for a top 3 finish here, although deep into that corner, that's going to mess him up. He's going to lose positions again. Down to 9th from 7th now. Can he get 6th? We know how close they are, and he's not massively miles away from the cars ahead of him. The top 3 is still close. 9th place currently as we start the last lap. Anything can happen in these last laps. You know, one crash from the AI players, and that's all it takes. Currently in 8th, just getting his nose ahead there. Jump coming up. Car on his outside trying to overtake there. But he just holds the line nicely. 8th place currently. Didn't really brake hard enough for the corner. Struggling to get the car to turn. He still disagrees that the car doesn't turn. He thinks it turns lovely. Proof there that it doesn't, to be fair. 6th place though. Nice little overtake there. Puts his car on the apex and stops the other car turning. I say apex. It's a big apex. Let's put it that way. Right-hander next. He needs to catch. He's 4 seconds behind the cars ahead. Don't know if it's doable to catch the top 3 at this point. Let's see how high he can finish if not. Back down to 12th place though. One corner and you lose everything. It's really weird this race, how close it is. So right-hander now. He's trying to battle his way through the other cars, but they're all in his way. Getting a bit boxed in there. Can't really gain much. Currently in 9th, but he's trying to force his way through. Getting caught up on the wheels. Once the wheels catch on other cars, you just lose so much speed. Nice little corner though. Up to 7th. Down to 9th, down to 10th, down to 11th, back up to 7th, just changing position constantly. Now back down to 12th again now. Right-hander, can he take any cars here? Getting caught up again. It's a race to the line. I don't think he's going to gain too much just because he got caught up behind the other cars. And he finishes in 11th place. As it's the main event, that isn't enough. We need a top 3 finish, so Soldierboy's back in the car to see what he can do in a car he cannot stand. Problem is, there is no other car to use. There's no choice. It's this car or nothing. And I don't think I can run around the track quicker than they can drive, annoyingly. So, especially not in my current state. So, because of that, we're going to try and handle this car the best we can. Now, we did see a few issues with Wolverine and what he was doing. Big one was he kept getting boxed in, and that stopped him being able to accelerate. Obviously, we're going to try and avoid that if possible, but it does seem to be a tradition of these races that you just get boxed in quite a bit, as we're being boxed in now. Can't make any forward progress. In fact, we're losing positions because of being boxed in there. We have got up to 9th place, up the inside, just ramming our way through, and the car does not want to turn. This is my issue with this car. It doesn't like turning. But you need to turn for a corner. I don't understand how it's meant to work. So the right-hander next, we're up into 9th so far. We need a top 3. This is not looking good. Right-hander now, 9th place is still ours, and really not making progress. Just getting caught up on the other cars. We can't afford to stay this low down that long, otherwise this race will not finish well for us. Round the outside to the inside there, up to 7th place, couple of overtakes. Nicely done on the corner there. But nearly losing position there, holding it round the outside there and accelerating nicely. Wolverine was saying he needed to brake for that corner. I let off the throttle and reapplied, and it seemed to grip up a little bit better, but it still didn't want to turn that well. Up to 7th currently, near the end of the first lap. We're going to race for the line, start the second lap. We're in 7th place. We need at least 4 positions in 2 laps, and they're not going to be easy. Up the inside of 2 cars there, up to 5th place. So the group of cars in the lead are just ahead of us. They haven't got away. All these cars are very well matched. They're all the same car. So it does help us. They're having the same issue in turning that we have, hopefully. Too deep for the next corner, and that stops us getting any further cars. And also we're now dropping back a little bit from the group ahead, so we need to catch back up here, which we do under braking. We're currently in 6th place. We do seem to brake a lot later than they do for the corners, so maybe that's why they can turn a little bit better, maybe we're taking too much speed. It could be the issue. Right-hander now, we have gained another one up to 5th. Trying to get around the outside on this right-hander. Not really making it work there. Getting caught up to the car behind us, ahead as well, and that stops us really accelerating. We're up to 4th though. We're still doing okay. We can just hold 4th to the final lap, maybe an overtake when we can. That would be ideal. Little touch of the barrier there, it does slow us down. And the 3 cars ahead of us, the top 3 that we need to get to, slightly ahead at this point as we are coming towards the end of the second lap. Very close to the end. We're going to go from the inside of the car in 3rd and take the position. Can we hold it around the right-hander? Drifting the car nicely. Finally getting it to work the way we want to. We're up to 3rd place. This is enough to finish the event and move on. But that's always never enough, is it? You want to try and win at least, and we are going to take the lead into the first corner of the final lap. Now can we get away? I'm not expecting to, because these cars are very well matched and I still don't like them and they still don't turn. So I'm expecting mistakes. Braking a little bit earlier than I have been. There's a car on our inside taking 1st place back. This is going to become a real battle now. But again, as long as we finish top 3, I'm happy, because it's enough. You don't have to win the race. I'd like to, but you don't have to. I just don't want 4th place nicking it from all of us and we're in trouble then. We don't want to finish 4th. But we are still in the lead currently. Left-hander coming up and a right-hander quickly followed by it, taking them nicely. The car is still not turning the way I want it to. It may not look like it's a struggle to turn, but it is. It just doesn't like turning. Trying to feather the throttle to get the car to still move as well while keeping some speed going. Currently we have got the lead. The gap is small, the gap is tiny, but we need to hold this now. Not many corners left. We've nearly got this. It means we don't have to do it again. Left-hander very deep into the corner there, hitting the barrier on exit. Cars are now back in with a shot of beating us here. Right-hander though, taking this really tight. Race to the line. Can we hold on for 1st place? It's going to be close. And we have held on to 1st place. What a victory. As you can see there, how close it really was. It was incredible. But confirmation of our podium finish. We have now finished Velocity and its main events. We are done with Velocity. We can move on. But before we do, we have another throwdown. We're going to let AJ introduce the throwdown, and then we'll get into it. Once we get confirmation of our rewards, our 3 stamps, reputation increase of Munster, and some money for our troubles. Always nice. So AJ will introduce the throwdown, and then we'll look at it.
You pulled out all the stops and you made heads turn. And one head in particular has called you out. One Dimetri Smetsky. The crowd's behind you, so you show them what you got.
So Dimetri Smetsky has decided he wants to challenge us to a race, and it's a LandRush Riot Showdown. Throwdown, not showdown. I keep calling them showdowns. So Dimitri, you are facing Wolverine. Wolverine is going to use the Volkswagen Race Tovareg 3. That is what we're going to use for this race. Now, Wolverine hasn't done many of the throwdowns, mainly because it's one-on-one, he's not very keen on them. But I did explain it's a little bit easier when you're not having to fight your way through a battle of other cars. Will that stay true? That's the question. Hopefully we can do it. But this is Wolverine's first throwdown. Let's hope he does well. So the favourite car, the Race Tovareg, this is one we've used a lot. We love this car. We think it's actually really good. I'm not sure what Dimitri's in. That's the question. Wolverine a bit slow on the acceleration there. I think Dimitri got a lot better acceleration off the line. Nice right hander, was drifting nice. He's catching straight back up from that corner. He knows he's just got to beat Dimitri. It's race your own race, ignore the other car and just go for it. That's all you've got to do. And he is quickly in the lead. It's very early days, I know, but he's in the lead of a throwdown. That's the incredible thing. Left-hander now, this is very tight corner, has got to try and brake nicely. Wasn't as tight as I expected it to be fair. Through the puddle, over the bridge, nice little bit of air there. In the second place, Dimitri did go past, he braked a little bit too heavy into the corner. Forcing his way through though into first place, Wolverine is definitely on a charge here. Right-hander as well. Bit deep, going to catch the barrier on the exit, that's going to slow him down. Where's Dimitri? Didn't seem to try and make it past that time, so he's got a little bit of a gap. Not a big gap, but it's a little bit. Just needs to concentrate. Plane's going overhead. The next left-hander coming up here, under the arches. Brakes a little bit too soon maybe, too heavy on the brakes. Dimitri goes past, but we've still got plenty of time to make this up. We're going to race for the line for the end of the first lap. Dimitri's going to take a narrow lead into the second lap here. Right-hander though, Wolverine braking nicely, bringing the car round. Going to try and stay on his tail. We cannot lose him, we do not want a gap to form. Dimitri seems to brake very early there, so Wolverine takes advantage, brings the car round. I think it's nose to nose at this point, and Wolverine is just ahead in first now. Left-hander, tight one. Well, not as, I keep saying it's tight one, it's not at all. Through the puddle and over the bridge, a little bit of air. Nice little bounce. Wolverine doesn't have much of a gap. He's got to really be solid here. Bit deep, hits the barrier, that's going to mess him up. Does Dimitri make it past? Not quite. He kind of got away with that mistake. You can see Dimitri there trying to force his way through, but Wolverine got away with the mistake. I don't know how many more times we're going to get away with those. He's got to be a bit more careful. Left-hander though takes it nicely. He may win this. The way he's going, Wolverine may win this throwdown in his first go at one. Left-hander under the arches now. Only dabbing the brakes, not hard this time, so he's learnt his lesson. Race for the line through the puddles, and we're going to cross the line for the end of the second lap in first place. That's 1-1 on first place finishes across the laps. Final lap now, this is the one that counts more than anything else. Goes a little bit tight to the inside there for the corner and has to brake again. Slows him down. Dimitri though does brake early for this corner. The Wolverine has managed to catch up a little bit. It's not quite enough to overtake. Can we get him here at the inside? Wolverine trying to park his car in the way. Doesn't quite work. The exit barrier didn't really help there. And Dimitri's back into the lead. We know we're going across the bridge now. Bit of a jump. Got a bit of a gap to make up. Dimitri is gaining an advantage. Left-hander, tight. Forces Dimitri out the way. Takes it nicely. Touching barrier though. Does he hold it? He does. First place and parking the car straight in front of Dimitri's. That helps a lot. That's the way to take a corner when it's one-on-one. Put your car in the way. Left-hander though goes very deep. Got to hold this around the outside. Not quite. Dimitri's got the lead. That was a mistake there. And Dimitri currently has the lead. We're so close to the finish. Braking for the under the arches. He's on Dimitri's tail. This is a race for the line. I think Dimitri's got it though. I don't think we've got the speed to catch him now. I think Dimitri's going to win the throwdown. And unfortunately, Dimitri does win the throwdown. It was close. He came so close to winning Wolverine. It was a fantastic race. And normally, we'd do it again. I'd have a go. Or Wolverine would give it a go. We're going to leave it. We do want to finish it, but we'll wait until we've got another one and we'll do two together. Something like that. We want to start these new events in the career mode. We'll come back to the throwdown. It does have a circle around it if you don't complete it. I'm not sure if it's needed for platinum or anything else, but we'll come back at a later time and complete it then. That's the thinking as it stands. But confirmation of the awards he does gain, but we will be back to finish that off and put Dimitri in his place properly very, very soon. First, let's look at the races coming up in this new section once we change it across. But yeah, so the circle round the throwdown means it hasn't been won. That's something to pay attention to. And we're not actually going to see the new races, are we? So that's it. There we go. We're in Showdown for career mode now. So we'll see you next time for the first showdown races.